Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway has sold its stake in a handful of companies, including General Motors and Johnson & Johnson, and offloading smaller positions in companies like Procter & Gamble, according to its latest 13F filing. Berkshire's top three holdings remain Apple, Bank of America, and American Express here. What should be noteworthy about some of the companies that they have offloaded is that they are either in the midst of or have already initiated specific spin-offs. You think about Johnson & Johnson and making sure that the consumer health division is separate from what they're trying to do on the pharmaceutical side. And then you think about as well what GM still has to answer for with regard to this cruise automation business right now that is seeing a plethora of hurdles start to emerge in different states and unfortunately having to halt some of the automotive and autonomous vehicle practices there until they get more answers or are able to show regulators in those jurisdictions that they can move forward safely there. So those are two of the larger exits that Berkshire Hathaway has made, perhaps just noticing some of the larger, how these businesses are vastly different than when they took on these positions to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. And also within that group, you can add exiting the stake of Activision Blizzard as well, obviously following the fact that they did sell to Microsoft. When it comes to some of the, patterns that we're starting to see from Warren Buffett, from Berkshire Hathaway this year, obviously you can point to the fact that they've been a net seller here of equities, $23.6 billion from stock sales this year. Other changes that they also have made is some of their positioning within the banking sector, within the financial sector. We know that they exited Bancorp and Bank of New York Mellon earlier this year. And then also where he's placing more of an emphasis on, when you take into account the new stake that the company has in Sirius XM Holdings, we're seeing a real reaction in shares there today. The company disclosing that it held 9.68 million shares of share stake in Sirius. So we're seeing a big pop to the upside there. Sirius shares have fallen about 24% in the past year. So making a bet on a beaten down name and really sees some momentum here to the upside going forward.